I realized that was our last panel discussion. So it has been 2.5 days together. So if I may, I'd like to ask for your hand. If you could please show me your hand. Your right hand, left hand, that's okay. Thank you, wonderful. What I'd like you to do is that actually touching your pocket. Is your jacket has a pocket? Is your pants has a pocket? Is your purse, your backpack? What do you find? What do you find? Well, I hope you still find your wallets and passport in place, because a lot of you will be traveling later. But what I hope that you find in that is the name cards, your new contacts, and that your phone full of email addresses, people you want to meet later, meeting schedule, network. But more importantly, I also hope that in those pockets, you have new ideas, new aspiration, inspiration, and affirmation to continue the journey together, the journey of us to contribute to the volunteering and the better world. So we're going to enter into the closing ceremony, and I'd like you to introduce this person. And I believe that this person has spoken to almost every of you sitting in here. And I said at the beginning, on the first day, that I believe we are about 400-something participants here. So there's a lot of work going into behind the scene, and this person has been behind that coordination, collaboration, and everything. So please give me a round of applause to the program coordinator, Stephanie Muller.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And it's indeed a pleasure to look down and see so many familiar faces. That's really awesome. So my pleasure today is to summarize what we have done. Over the last 3 days, 400 people, that's us, that's we. Please give yourself a round of a big, big, big applause. Have engaged in lively and very diverse discussion to unlock the power of volunteering. Among us, we have around 100 presenter and speaker who were active in 30 breakout sessions and 4 plenary discussions. Please, another round of applause for all of those people. We dive deep into 5 themes: unlocking the lock, making the invisible visible, simple but not simpler, flipping the SDGs conversation, and just this morning, right now, we finished with stronger together. In each of those themes, we covered a lot of ground. And let's have a look together back on the last days. In the theme, we started off with the plenary, unlocking the lock. What are the locks and what is the power of volunteering once we have the key? In the breakout sessions, we talked about technology. Can I see your hands for those who joined the technology sessions around platforms and apps? Great, fantastic. We have new capacity in IT here in the room in our sector. We unlocked by listening to examples about empathy. Where are the people joining the empathy room? Fantastic. We had the silver powers. Please, where are the silver powers? You all are now in the mood of dancing. Your sessions included the square step dancing activities. Really lively session we had there. We had social media, and we have now people, can I see them, who learned a lot of new hacks about how to use social media to promote your volunteering program. The power of youth. You all are now experts in programming with the youth, and we had inspiring stories about how to create a new program and how to run a program specifically with the youth. We have the social entrepreneurs. Please hands up for all the ones in social entrepreneurship. Yeah, a couple of people here around, all spread over. And effective volunteer management. You dived into recruit, retrain, and recognize different personalities of new volunteers. Can I also see them, please? So we cover all, no? We have one last session, the service learning group. I think it speaks very much for academia and all practitioners around service learning. I see you around. So I think we covered all. Everybody found in the first slot a session to join in. In the next afternoon session, we were looking towards the invisible and how to make it visible. We talked about community volunteers, equip, empower, and engage. Great session about emergency and crisis situations and promoting through policies. And what is the invisible impact on our volunteers themselves? In the next one, it was just yesterday. Can you believe time is running? I'm getting no sense of time anymore. Just yesterday, we started with the plenary, simple but not simpler. The plenary shared with us the insights of the global volunteer standards and took us on the journey to explore the 4 pillars: designing and delivering projects, duty of care, managing volunteers, and measuring impact. Rahim and his plenary team was inviting us to take part in shaping out the standards further and bring them to life in our own contexts. In the breakouts, we talked about simple but impactful volunteer programs and how to get started. We talked about youth program design and running, volunteer programs in social services, and inclusive volunteering. We had discussions around micro and e-volunteering, as well as social currency. Responsible volunteering and do no harm was one of our highlight sessions in this session. In the next one, yesterday afternoon, after we were come back from lunch, we were flipping the SDG conversation and talked about monitoring SDGs, focusing on citizen-led monitoring, the role of social media in it, and the volunteer national review, partnering for SDGs, and the growing metropolitan and the trend of more diverse communities, what is the meaning of our volunteer programs in this changing world context. At the same time, we had 2 interactive forums, the IAVE network and another one where you had the opportunity to engage with a topic, what is meaningful to you to create collaboration. Later in the plenary session, Renaud and his speaker inspired us to flip our conversation around. Instead of asking, what are the SDGs, we talked about what makes the life of disadvantaged people better, and how volunteering can promote the sustainable development. Afterwards, many of you went on board of the cruise and enjoyed the dinner together. You got to know each other better, and I'm sure you made a couple of new friends. This is the main ingredient for our next and last theme, Stronger Together. In Stronger Together, just today, in this morning, you took the vibe and spread out into the morning sessions around different ways of collaboration. Collaboration across multiple sectors, South-South exchange programs, corporate volunteer engagement, mega volunteering, and the role of facilitators of collaborations we play. Right before me here on stage, Sachal guided us with his plenary through the conversation across cross-sector partnerships, cross-cultural collaboration, and engagement across demographics. This is our journey we went together through the last days. Thank you for sharing with me your highlights and learnings during the breaks and in person and via social media. I would like to give it a try to summarize our individual takeaways into 4 different key elements to unlock the power of volunteering. The first element is around quality, and we had it a lot. That's more our head. We have to ensure quality across the sector and advocate and promote responsible and impactful volunteering practice. The SDGs and volunteer standards are providing us a technical structure and guidelines for that. The next element is empathy and passion, our heart. This is our strength in the sector, in the volunteer sector. We need to recognize that. We need to own this, and we can be very proud of that. And most important, we must not lose it. In the process, to align our heart and our head, we also need to go hand in hand by facilitating inclusive collaboration across the sector, generation, and cultures. And last but not least, in a changing world, we need to be adaptable and creative, sometimes challenging the boundaries of traditional volunteering models and using the power of favorable trends like the growing social business space and technological developments for our own purpose. To finish up, I would like to take us back to our very first presenter, our keynote speaker, Daiichi Konuma, co-founder and CEO of Crossfields, with his quote, "Volunteering is the key for passion." This reminds me, how important volunteering is, and that it will become more and more relevant in our future society. Thank you, every one of you, for your really active engagement. You made this one a really, really great experience and learning journey.
I think she deserves a stand-up applause. Wow. That's our learning. That's our key takeaways. So I think your pockets or your backpacks are even fuller now. Can you close it? Not sure. All right. So that's 2019, our 60th Asia Pacific volunteer conference is there. Now, I think we should also be looking forward to what's happening next. So I'd like to invite a presentation of our next IAVE World Volunteer Conference 2020 by the program manager of the Emirates Foundation, HUSSAIN al-BALOOSHI.
Thank you very much. Welcome. I would like to, yeah? Better, all right, sure. I would like to say, first of all, marhaba, that means welcome, and would like to begin with inviting you for next year to the World Conference, for the World Volunteering Conference in 2020, which will be in Abu Dhabi. Let me share with you a small story about our nation, about our volunteerism job, and about our organization. Our organization called Emirates Foundation. We are based in Abu Dhabi. We are a government entity that focuses on mobilizing the youth capabilities in different sectors. And one of them is volunteerism. Basically, our leadership simplified in a way that our country deserves and our community deserves to give back to it and share that spirit of volunteerism, which make any contribution very much valuable and impactful to others. Today, in United Arab Emirates, we have that spirit of volunteerism. We have that action that we do take towards that, supporting the community, supporting all the projects related to the volunteerism. And that didn't come by coincidence. In fact, that spirit of volunteerism was shared by our founding father, who is Sheikh Zayed bin Nahyan. Our founding father, he taught us how we need to seek for that purpose of giving back to the community. He's the one who shared that spirit with us. He's the one that always encouraged us that have the tolerance inside you and give back to the community. It doesn't matter what religion, what political concepts are there, just give back to your community and support the world. Well, going back to the World Conference, the World Volunteering Conference in 2020, we are very proud and delighted that we won the bid in 2017 in Germany, and we have all the authorities in the United Arab Emirates, and above them is the Ministry of Community Development being part of that bid and being, as you can see in this picture, awarded to deliver the World Volunteering Conference. I can assure you it will be the most unique one that you would see, the most, I would say, active one you would see. We are expecting over 1,200 people to be part of that conference, over 100 companies participation, and also we'll be providing a scholarship. Why Abu Dhabi? Maybe I shared the first part of it. Why us? It's happening for the first time in the Middle East. And we are delighted to be a pioneer in that field in the Middle East. And as an Arab country, thank you very much. As an Arab country, we would love to take that leading role to show others and change people's perceptions and being active and giving back to other countries in a way that would be impactful and valuable to them. We would like to bridge the gaps in the Arabic communities and in the Middle East and in the world itself. We would like to empower the volunteerism job. We would like to give it more opportunities and look into the challenges, if it was sociable, environmental, or the other challenges that do appear. So Abu Dhabi is the right place today to have this conference. And with all the pleasure, we are going to deliver it in a very unique way. Why Emirates Foundation? As I mentioned earlier, we are a government entity leading this role in United Arab Emirates. We are supporting our government entities, our private entities, to solve the challenges that are there. And one of them is the volunteerism. Today, over a decade, we have been doing volunteerism job, supporting the youth, giving them the opportunities, worked in the technology that we have developed unique platforms that would engage government, private, and the youth, and all the volunteers from all the segments under one platform. Today, we have over 400,000 registered or volunteers registered in our platform. We have over 7,000 opportunities being posted in our platform. Our platform called volunteers.ae. I would like to encourage you also to visit it, please. We have also over 3 million hours that have been delivered. We are very much close to 500 organizations registered in that platform, and they do have their own pages. They do post opportunities to other volunteers. Our next phase for this platform that we would like to make it in the region, to the GCC, and then the Middle East, and maybe it would be global. Why not? This is the leading role that we are talking about today. This is the spirit of volunteerism that we would like to share with everyone. In this slide, I would like to share with you the main theme and the sub-themes of the coming conference and the World Volunteering Conference in 2020. Here it's showing to you 6 sub-themes, but we would be having one extra theme, would be called Volunteering Resilience. How resilient they are, the volunteers. As you can see, we will be talking about corporate volunteering, volunteering and the digital world, measuring an impact, tolerance and inclusion, future leadership, the role of the youth leadership in the future for volunteering, and volunteering 2030. Well, here is back to the platform, but finally, I wouldn't take much more time. I just would like to remind you, what was the welcome word I said in Arabic? Marhaba. All together. Marhaba. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Balooshi. And I think this information comes in time for the budgeting. I think if you are doing this planning for the next year, maybe this is also the time to consider, or putting together the abstract for the theme already. So So I think very impressive preparation from the Emirates Foundation, and I can't wait to see what it will be like at the World Conference. Next, I would like to invite the Executive Director of IAVE, Ms. NICHOLE CIRILLO, to have a closing remark. Thank you.
Okay, let's go. Help me out here, folks. I apologize for my voice. Do I need the microphone? I apologize for my voice, but I consider my voice a badge of honor because I have had many conversations. I have talked to so many people, and I think the best way to go home from one of these is with no voice, tired, exhausted, and can't ready to sleep. So I consider my voice to be a badge of honor. Okay. So for those of you I have not had the pleasure to meet, the few of you I have not had the pleasure to meet, I am the executive director of IAVE, the new executive director. And I am absolutely thrilled to begin my tenure here with you at the Asia Pacific Conference in Thailand. Absolutely thrilled. I just started 3 weeks ago, so this is my first debut, and I'm thrilled to be here. Let me just show you this picture because it is for me an inspiration of why I volunteer. That's my son in the center. No, he's not a police officer. That's his Halloween costume. But he's one of the reasons why I volunteer, because I want to be an inspiration to my son, but I also want to impress upon him at a very young age the importance of being a global citizen and the importance of giving back. And in fact, one of the quotes I have is one of my favorite quotes, which you'll see in a second. It's from Muhammad Ali, who was a famous boxer in the United States and globally. And one of the things he said is, your rent for being a citizen on earth is to give back. And that's what I want to teach to my son. These are our pets, our dogs. But let me tell you that this little guy on the right here, he's only 6 months old, but when he gets older, will train to be a service dog. So he will also be a volunteer. And maybe perhaps in a future IAVE conference, you'll be able to meet him and celebrate his work as well. Okay, so my job is to address the brave few of you who are still left and to send us on our way. But first, I just want to say congratulations for having, I'm going to move this, sorry, because it's in my way. Sorry, it's lovely, but it's in my way. Yes, boy, have we done an enormous amount of work, and others before me have said this, but we've had a really busy week. We've had over 400 participants from many countries. We've actually had a great youth conference that started this. Anybody still here who went to that youth conference? All right. We had a Good Deeds Day meeting. Anybody who went to the Good Deeds Day meeting? Where's Hannah? I know she's here somewhere. All right, great. We also had a special gathering of our corporate partners and our national leadership organizations. Anybody still here from those organizations? Yes, excellent. We talked a lot about the challenges of volunteering, and we talked about the lessons that we've learned. And I will always remember, where are you? I will always be inspired by that story that Yune told us about the Boxing Day tsunami and how you were inspired and frankly transformed as a volunteer, being humble and grateful for what you have and for being able to serve others. That's an inspiration, and I thank you for that experience. We learned about the SDGs and how volunteering is at the center of being able to achieve that agenda, right? And you all are a big part of that. It's impossible, will be impossible to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals without volunteering. And that is something we all have to be proud of. And we also learned of that commitment to leave no one behind in that process. And that's something, again, we can all be proud of. But more than anything else, we built a community. And a community that reinforces the power of volunteering and the ability to meet challenges ahead. Okay, here comes the not so good news, folks. It's a little bit of bad news, actually. There are a lot of global challenges ahead. Possibly, I mean, I haven't been in existence for the entire 2+ millennia or however long humans have walked the earth, but I certainly think our time here on earth is probably the most challenging for us. Not only do we have climate change and the threats to humans and the extinction of species, but we also have scarcity, water, and the whole range of planetary boundaries that we're meeting and exceeding. And also, of course, the increasing frequency of storms and other natural disasters that will continue to destroy communities, infrastructure, and people. These are just a few of the challenges we face. And as a mom, a busy mom with a busy job and many responsibilities, people will often ask me why I volunteer. And I often get, well, how do you have the time? And you know, you've got that at home and many other things. How do you have the time to volunteer? Volunteering takes a lot of resources, and it doesn't give any resources back. You don't get rich from volunteering, right? In fact, if there's anybody here who has a scheme to get rich through volunteering, certainly see me after this plenary and we can talk, because you don't make money on volunteering, right? And anyone who knows that. But mostly, people say to me when they ask me why I volunteer, how can one person make a difference? How can one person, in the face of all those challenges I mentioned, make a difference? Let me tell you what I say. One of the most profound volunteering experiences I had myself was in 2010 in Haiti, after a devastating earthquake killed 200,000 people and left millions homeless. I had the privilege to serve in that environment as part of medical teams, sending down nurses and doctors to develop clinics to aid people in camps and aid the survivors of that earthquake. I remember a particular mother and her son who came into our clinic one day. They'd been left homeless by that earthquake, as many hundreds of thousands of other Haitians had. And they were living in a large displacement camp that was quite dangerous itself. Medical care was rare, and this is the thing you have to know. It was extremely rare to be seen by a doctor in those circumstances. But more even extremely, on top of that, to be seen by a Western doctor who came with lots of supplies and know-how to be able to treat the various injuries and ailments that were a result of that earthquake. So the people who came into our clinic were extremely lucky. It didn't matter that we worked as hard as long as we could. There was still no way we could even begin to meet the demand of people walking into our clinic. I knew this mother had sacrificed everything to be there and to bring her son that day. And I could see by the clothes, they were dirty. They were probably the very clothes that she was wearing 2 weeks before when the earthquake hit. But as I greeted them, she did something that I will to this day never forget. She reached over and she wiped a little bit of dirt off of her son's face. She combed his hair with her hand. Now, this is something as a mother I have done countless times with my own son, preparing him for what I know will be an important test, meeting, event that he has. So to make sure that I'm doing everything I can to send him into that very important event, looking his best and being his best. Any mother, any parent, any sister, any aunt or uncle understands how that feels. And in that moment, I didn't just see the woman and her son before me. I saw myself and my own son. And I will always remember that experience as teaching me, better than anything else, the value of volunteering. When we volunteer, we don't see our differences, we see our similarities across gender, across race, nationality, and even across circumstances as devastating as an earthquake and a tsunami. Volunteering brings together the universal human need and the universal human kindness. And when these two elements compound together, miracles happen. So this is the good news. This is our legacy, to continue this element of volunteering. Could you start to scroll, please? All right. This is particularly where I want this to be participatory. This is it. We can get ourselves over the line here with this last. So one more time, standing up. Please stand up if you've ever felt connected to someone different from you after volunteering. Don't be shy. Please stand up if you've ever gained a new skill or met a new friend from volunteering. If you've ever felt a little less stressful, a little less anxious, a little less worried about your future, your community's future, your country's future, or the world's future after a day of volunteering. All right, and let's remember Sam. And if you want to clap or do this to continue. If you've ever felt more confident in yourself, if you ever knew your community a little bit better, if you ever made a difference in someone's life, if you've ever felt prouder of your company because of the efforts and values it puts into place through volunteering. If you've ever met someone new or found a greater sense of purpose and said to yourself after volunteering, now I know what I want to do with my life. Clap your hands or snap your fingers or stand. If you've ever made the visible invisible or made something that was simple but not simpler, if you've ever become stronger together or flipped to the SDGs, or my very favorite that's coming up, something called Voluntesia, the moment you forget you're volunteering to help change lives because you're changing your own. This is the good news. Yay! We have so much to celebrate. And there's so much more work ahead. But this is the good news. So I want you to all feel proud as you leave today, whether your voices are cracking or not, because you are the future. You are how we will overcome these challenges. The fact is simple. You will create peace, and you will leave no one behind because you are volunteers. All right, more good news. Oh, you can sit down now. Thank you. But yes, give yourself even a round of applause. You're all fantastic. All right, we have a lot to look forward to, and we'll get to that Voluntesia. We have a lot to look forward to. We're turning 50. We're having a fantastic volunteer conference, as Hussain just said. But let's not stop here, right? That's the quote that the minister actually took us into this with. Let's not stop here. I want to issue you a challenge. I want you all to become a global friend of volunteering. It's on our website. The link will come up. It's a group that we're trying to build. It doesn't cost anything, but it allows you to show your support for volunteering. Please become a member, and please ask one or two other people to do that. It's really, again, we can't do this without you. It's how we're going to show the support globally for volunteering. Okay, you can advance to the video. All right, one last thing, one last tutorial before we go. That's the link, but you can find it on IAVE's website. Okay, thank you. And I want you to practice this. Apologies to the Thai people in the room.
Hi everyone, see me again in Swadhi channel. Today I'm gonna teach you about the simple Thai words you have to know before you come to Thailand. Yeah, the simple Thai words is how to say thank you in Thai. The word is very important in everyday life when you in Thailand, in Bangkok, in Chiang Mai, or around of Thailand. Yeah, thank you is a polite word. You have to say in every situation. When someone give you something or someone do something to you, you have to say thank you. And how to say thank you in Thai? Today I want to teach you. Here we go. Okay, how to say thank you in Thai? In Thai, we will say ขอบคุณ 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 and that's right. But if you are men, you have to put ครับ in the final of ขอบคุณ For example, hey, I buy something to you. Oh, very pretty. ขอบคุณ That's right. It's only ขอบคุณ But if you are men, you have to say, wow, thank you. ขอบคุณครับ That's right. But if you are woman, you have to say, wow, ขอบคุณค่ะ That's it. It's very easy to speak ขอบคุณ when the Thai people give you something or Thai people make a something to you. You have to say ขอบคุณครับ for men or ขอบคุณค่ะ for women. Okay, when you come to Thailand, you have to speak, you have to say ขอบคุณ every situation. When you happy, when someone make you happy, you say ขอบคุณครับ or ขอบคุณค่ะ It's a simple Thai word you have to know before you come to Thailand. Okay, the next video I will teach you another simple word in everyday life if you in Thailand. Okay, see you again next video. Bye. ขอบคุณค่ะ
So, to and the Volunteer Spirit Network and Stephanie and HATTAYA and all the workers on the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3. ขอบคุณค่ะ To all of our sponsors and our corporate sponsors and to our national leadership organizations who work hard every single day to bring volunteering to life. 1, 2, 3. ขอบคุณค่ะ To Yunei Park, our Asia Pacific representative, who has been a steadfast representative of IAVE in the Asia region. ขอบคุณค่ะ To all of our cooperating organizations, VSO, UNV, and all of the wonderful organizations who are our sisters and fellows on this journey. ขอบคุณค่ะ And finally, to all of you, thank you so much. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Nicole? Yes. ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you. What a wonderful closing remark from the Executive Director of IAVE, Nicole. And last but not least, I would like to invite our host organization, Volunteer Spirit Network, Nuntinee Malanon, the manager of Volunteer Spirit Network, who's actually has been main person to put all of this together. Please join me to welcome Nuntinee.
Thank you, Nicole. I can't believe. Our conference almost finished. We are in the very last minute in Bangkok, Thailand. Throughout our conference, we see diversity, a dynamic group of speakers, practitioners, and participants. All my visions from the beginning of this conference have come to reality. Your presence helped make this event a great success, and your all enthusiasm and positive spirit help make our time together both productive and fun. I know with all of my heart that this would not happen if it was not because of the help and support from our cooperative organizations, Thammasat University, VSO, Kon Thai Foundation, YIY Foundation, and all of my sponsors, which I cannot identify all of every organization that support us to our in different types of support. But you can look at our slide. And my colleagues that you already met all of them from each state until we met here in Bangkok. And all volunteers that they contributed that time, so much time to help us during 5 days of the event since the youth conference at Thammasat until today. And please give him applause. Today, at our last day of the conference, through insightful sharing and discussion, I see more aspects of volunteerism happening in regional and international stages. Some of them are new to me, and some of them are matters that I can now see in more depth. But what I have also found, which are key takeaways for me, as Miss Min from CJ, who mentioned is, alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. The conference reminded me that partnership and collaboration are important keys for us in the volunteer community in order to achieve our goals in the big picture. But for partnership to be formed and maintain its strength, we need to give before we can take, and more importantly, we need to be able to empathize others. Through our interactive discussions and activities in these 4 days at the regional conference has proven to me that it has given me a high hope that many great relationships have been formed. I can envision our future from now, where many great and exciting programs are initiated and cooperated. I hope that you all found the conference informative and worthwhile. Additionally, what I hope and would like to see after this event is that our relationship will continue to grow and that we will all stay committed in our partnership to work for the better society. As we end today's event, I would like to thank you from my heart for all of you to joining the conference in Bangkok. Your presence today shows a strong commitment to our work towards challenges in volunteerism. I wish you all the best and have a safe trip back home. Thank you very much and สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you, Am, for a wonderful work. Last but not least, we're almost there, we're nearly there. Last but not least, like Am said, she's not alone in putting this together. And so I want to take this opportunity to show you the faces of the team behind this event. So if you could show hand as the coordinating team of this conference, You know yourself. Could you please show your hand? Volunteer Spirit Network, coordinating team. Those are the people behind all this wonderful, wonderful work. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณค่ะ But all of this cannot be together, cannot be this successful without our volunteers. So I would like to again show hand, please, if you are the volunteers who's been with us throughout these 2.5 days. In the corner, our youth volunteers. Thank you so much, ขอบคุณค่ะ for your great work. So now, it's a little bit of a compilation of our fun, our enjoyment, and our 2.5 days together. A little bit of a video presentation to see how much fun we had together. Let's play the video. It felt so long ago when we see the puppet show and say, oh my God, that was 2.5 days ago only. And this is our last moment together. What we like to do is actually, before we go out to lunch, would it be a good idea that we have a photo together? Yes, why not? So I'd like you to actually organize ourselves. Let me see. So we're going to need about 2-3 rows of people up on stage. And to prevent it from collapsing, let's gather around in the front of the stage for the rest of us. I want everyone in the frame. I want all the participants, the youth volunteer, the team, the coordinator, everyone in the team. It's very important that we collect this moment together. We will not be together. We will not be together like this after today. So it's very important that we collect this memory together. Please. Yeah, let's organize ourselves to go. Some of us could go on stage, and some of us could be on the floor. Yes, please come on stage. And some of us can stand in the middle, some of us can stand over here. Don't be shy. We all deserve to be on stage as well. Don't be shy. If you're small, you can go in the front. If you're taller, you can go in the back. And make sure that we have space for everyone. We want to be inclusive. We want 3 rows on the stage, and the rest can go over here in front of the stage. So the cameraman say that he can only capture the stage. So you need to organize yourself that you don't go over the stage. Yeah. So if you look back and if you're in the stage area, then you're fine. But if you're not, you have to move yourself in the front. ช่างภาพเอาออกไหมคะเอาอะไรออก They're going to move the table in the front. Cameraman โอเคไหมคะ เก็บได้ไหม 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 Ready? Look at the cameraman. 3, 2, 1. Cheese. Thank you all. Have a wonderful journey home, everyone. Goodbye.